Washoe County corruption, file stamp, case number CV 2502453. Judicial notice for the continuation of the evidence, command for cease and desist stalking claim, stay away order by the organized intimidations on first-hand witnesses to financial crimes, fraudulent recordings by attorneys, perpetuity frauds, representations on property titles, Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, Wilcox Ranch Ditch Company, delivered to co-actors / defendants, Exhibit 1. Okay, command for cease and desist. Here's the delivery here. Here's all the defendants. Okay, this is the Exhibit 1. Okay, there's this file 10/28/2025. Okay, so this is a command for cease and desist stalking claim, stay away order. So what this is Mr. Belfort's case was dismissed on October 13th without due process, and then there was a type of an assault that occurred on us by one of the co-actors involved in this matter, Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. And so we'll go through that. This is all done on the same day that he was dismissed. Okay, delivered to co-actors, Karl Allen Shreck, James Lee Shreck, Shreck Family Trust, Christopher J. Hicks, District Attorneys. So Exhibits 1 and 2, cease and desist, James Lee Shreck, public records request. Okay, so let's go through this here. This is my testimony as I witnessed this go down. Let's talk about it. Command for cease and desist stalking claim, stay away order. Take notice by the service of process, Karl Allen Shreck / co-actors. 1. I, Jeffrey Merritt Wilson, as first-hand witness, makes these statements about a type of an assault that took place on October 13, 2025, approximately 5 p.m. at Winco Grocery Store off Pyramid Highway in Spanish Springs, Nevada. 2. On the day of October 13, 2025, Jonathan Belfort and I were preparing for a mandatory mediation on October 14, 2025 for his case number RSC 2025-000740. 3. At approximately 3:45 p.m., I witnessed Jonathan Belfort get a phone call from the clerk of the court informing him that his case had been dismissed, case number RSC 2025-000740, with no proper notice or due process for failure to state a claim. Jonathan Belfort told me this made no sense as he had filed an affidavit statement of the claims under notary seal several weeks before. He also made the comment to me that this was the third case where his due process was violated by the courts in the county of Washoe. Case numbers CV 25-00680, RSC 2025-000740, RSC 2019-000337. Jonathan Belfort and I went to the county office where he filed several insurance claims for violating his rights, conflict of interest, and due process violations concerning case number RSC 2025-00740. Co-actors, Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, Wilcox Ditch Company. See criminal claims filed with the Secretary of State, Nevada, and Attorney General, County of Washoe. Entire record, case number CV 25-00680, Second Judicial District Court. 5. Jonathan Belfort and I continued on with our business and stopped at Winco Grocery Store before our way to next stop. 6. I wandered away from Jonathan Belfort to look at stores I'd never been inside. 7. Approximately 5 p.m. I was confronted by who I later confirmed was Karl Allen Shreck, James Lee Shreck's son. Karl Allen Shreck had no basket of groceries that I could see and was on his phone. 8. Karl Allen Shreck, as I was passing him, he asked me, "How's it going?" I said, "Good." I looked at him and then realized it was James Lee Shreck's son, as I had only seen him once or twice before. The last time was at a Board of Adjustment hearing for Jonathan Belfort on March 6, 2025. Previous to that, I saw and witnessed him at a Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association meeting where he was mocking Jonathan Belfort after he had been questioning financial frauds concerning said association. 9. Karl Shreck then told me, "Nah, case dismissed," and laughed while he was on his phone. Brackets. I found it odd that he knew within an hour that the case was dismissed, case number RSC 20250000740, as if the district attorney or some Washoe County agent provided him with a blow-by-blow accounting, seemingly the fix is in. Unbracket. I then proceeded to find Jonathan. Around that time, I met up with him at the meat freezer section and told him Shreck's son was here. Karl Allen Shreck then moved towards Jonathan at the meat freezer and began taunting Jonathan, saying, "Case dismissed, case dismissed. You're going to get thrown off your property." They were going back and forth with words. 11. Jonathan Belfort yelled at him several times, "Get away from me. Get your hand out of your pocket and stay away from me." The next thing I witnessed is Karl Allen Shreck taking off his jacket and lunging at Jonathan, saying, "Let's go." As he was beckoning violence to fight Jonathan, who is a senior citizen over 60 years of age. I have first-hand knowledge of these matters, including the books and records of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. In my view, I recognize that this has all the elements of racketeering by the intimidations and continued threats of violence on us for over 4 years. A pattern of illegal activities such as extortion, bribery, and fraud organized to make money for criminal enterprise, i.e. title frauds, real estate frauds. 12. I stepped in between and basically thwarted the assault, and we continued our shopping. 13. The next thing we encountered was Karl Allen Shreck again for the third time, passing close enough to start his intimidation within 3 feet. This time he seemingly had a female accomplice. Karl Allen Shreck started again with "Case dismissed, case dismissed." Then he started saying to me, "Get away from me," while having his hand in his pocket and while being on the phone. I said, "Hey, you keep coming up on us." He had some female with him telling us to leave him alone. You are both older than him. The video surveillance tapes will clearly show the whole interaction with Karl and Shreck, which was unwarranted. This is obviously orchestrated to bait us into some type of confrontation. 14. Karl Allen Shreck surely benefits from the 10 to 12 or more properties and interests from his father's estate and the Shreck family trust, where there is now and previously been a controversy concerning Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, Wilcox Ranch Dish Company, title frauds, financial frauds, perpetuity frauds, false representations, title insurance, State Farm liability insurance, County of Washoe insurance bond, etc. 15. Karl Allen Shreck, you and your co-actors are ordered equals command for cease and desist, stalking clump, stay away order, 100 yards or more. We feel threatened by you and your co-actors' intimidation of we witnessed of financial crimes, real estate crimes, title frauds. We will be seeking protections under the Whistleblower Protection Act. We also continue with quieting our titles and rights. Any more assaults with you and your co-actors will be considered you intend to harm us. Stay away order. It has now become a pattern of intimidation during court proceedings, while the district attorneys fail to stop and correct while having a conflict of interest. Okay, these are the breach of trust numbers. The district attorney has all this. Okay, all the sheriff's reports, everything are in here. There it is right there. Okay, and it is also sent to the United States. That's coming too. To Pamela Jo Bondi, Attorney General. Okay, Exhibit 1, you go back. Now, I had to do this before, where James Lee Shreck threatened to bury myself and Mr. Belfort uh, about a year ago while we were in a court proceeding. He had a firearm slung across there, and it's in here, and I did this to him and his attorney. Okay, it's all in here. It's all in the record. Okay, I had to do it. Now his son's doing it to us. Okay, there's a real estate fraud going up in here. These people have bought a bunch of properties. They voted a perpetuity vote in there saying that the association doesn't exist. Okay, and you know they're taking money. It's fraud all day long. Title frauds. Okay, there's some stuff here he was told before. Now his son's doing it to us. Okay, that was back then, and you can see some of these deals in here. The checks, all these checks that they're receiving unaccounted for are all in here, and they say it doesn't exist now, even though they voted in a perpetuity forever. They voted it in under notary seal done by the attorney Gail Agnes Kern. And he took checks after the perpetuity. Okay, there's a title fraud going on here. They're all in here. I'm not going to go into details showing you because I'm going to make this short. Here's the votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is another co-actor, all the highlighted ones. Okay, they all voted this perpetuity in, and it's recorded. So they're leaning on our title rights, and they've caused the roads not to be worked on for about 5 years, and they're not up to grading standard, and it's dangerous out there now. Those people, I hold them responsible for all the damages to bring them up to the grading standard. Here's the filing right here, done by Gail Agnes Kern. The term for which the association shall exist is perpetual. All the votes, here they are, done by the president. Robert A. Nearing, under notary seal. Here's the liens, some of the liens that Gail Agnes Kearns is putting on our properties. Why they were taking properties on the courthouse steps, and they were all profiting, along with the county. Okay, it's in there. Go through here because we're running out of time. Here's the letters they sent, saying that they're not obligated to pay anymore. Okay, here's the rest of them. There's another letter, and I've talked about that before. Okay, there's the proof of service, and here's where I emailed all the adverse parties, and here's his attorney, Millsap, Patrick R. Millsap, you know, saying that you may remove me from this email. So, you know, he doesn't represent him, but James Lee Shreck told me that was his attorney when he said that I heard you got your ass beat in court yesterday. Okay, here's a statement of the sheriff, the report. And of course, he denied it all. I have all the audio recordings. It's laughable. You know, he tried to act like he was all innocent. This guy, he's something else. There's a case number right there. Okay, here's the notes. Anyways, Exhibit 2. And then there's another one where apparently that I was finding this guy here was battered over this road stuff, Wilcox Ranch. He's a former officer, and I was trying to get a public records request on this. So we're going to cut it short because I'm almost up at time here. But one thing, and then I just got a letter today from the district attorney office of request for records. No, it wasn't. I already made the request to the sheriff's department. They just sent this